So welcome to Strata Today. Our first guest is co-founder of 4Leaders Global, Mr. Rowan Dredge. So Rowan, 2021. In 2020, we had a tumultuous year, right? A lot of COVID, a lot of problems with our leadership and our companies, etc. How do you see our challenges for leadership in 21?
Yeah, that's a really, really important question, Steve. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have this conversation with you and our listeners. 2020 exposed, I think, a lot of leadership challenges and leadership weaknesses, but it also exposed a lot of leadership strengths. One of my buddies and colleagues, Darren Hill, said leaders don't find themselves in a crisis, they find a way. And I think that was probably one of the hallmarks of great leadership in the year that we've had. And one of the big words we're using with our clients and the people that we're talking to is reset. What's the opportunity to do things differently moving forward?
Yeah, that's great. And how do you see in that reset, what do you think we're missing in our leadership skills today or our leadership strategy?
I think for a start, one of the things that we've got to be thinking about is how do we actually run a business and manage and lead an organisation that will clearly be a hybrid model for quite some time. And if ours is not a hybrid model, people we're engaging with is a hybrid model. So I think that there is a first and very obvious challenge right there.
Yeah.
Secondly, how do we understand health, well-being, engagement, communication, culture? They're all big deals when it comes to leadership development and the focus of an organisation. And as we lean into the year, those are the things that we're encouraging people to be focusing on from a leadership perspective.
So let's get down to specifics. So if we're strategic planning for this year, what should be on our strategic agenda as leaders of organisations?
Well, for a start, I would not back away from the commercial objectives of the organisation. Everybody we've spoken to, in fact, in a call late in 2020, we were talking with one of our colleagues, and he said, you know what, Rowan, the numbers have not gone away. And we recognise that. It's just how we get there that becomes important. So to all of the leaders that want to reach those goals and exceed those targets, I'd be encouraging that. So keep the dream and the vision and the objectives alive and sharp and inspiring for everyone around you. I think where the real art is for leadership this year is how that gets experienced, Steve.
Yep.
I think how it gets experienced becomes really important. Do we do hybrid, in-person? How do we do it? What's the communication culture like? How do we actually make sure that people are invited to participate, even if they're not there when they're present? What are the rituals and rhythms that we need to build in so that a new way of doing work and leadership emerges and we celebrate that? I think that's the kind of thing that becomes really important.
Fantastic. And if you think about the top three things, the 3 or 4 things that we should actually put down straight away for us to either keep doing or stop doing for this year, what would they be?
Look, if I was to start with some starts, the very first one would be communication. I say to all of the people that we work with that in any meeting that you're having with anyone in any format right now, in person, online, always ask how you're doing before you ask what you're doing. And I think we've got to take more time to allow that sense of engagement and connection to take place, because in a virtual environment, it just takes a little bit longer. So that'd be the first start. The second start, I think, would be, so if that was connection, say, let's call it that. I called it communication earlier, but I'd probably say connection. Making sure that we're actually leaning into the worlds of people, even though if they're on camera, we can see their world because we can see their home or any part of what's going on. The second would be communication. It's easy as a leader, and I've experienced this and done it, to feel like I've said it, everybody's got it, and they don't necessarily have it. So to be making sure that people have heard what we've been trying to communicate. The third would be culture. Reinforcing who we are and how we do things around here in whatever format. And the last would be community. I actually think it's an opportunity to be celebrating, an opportunity to be pointing out what people are doing well and actually naming them. And what we say calling people up and saying, hey, Steve, when you did that in this meeting, You just brained it. That was brilliant. Well done. That's what our client needs. That's what our company needs. That's who we are as a business. So they would be the starts.
Fantastic, fantastic. So thank you very much for that, Rowan. Great to have you on board for Strata today. I think the theme for this year is to listen to smart people. Thank you, Rowan Dredge, co-founder for Leaders Global. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for your time, Steve. Thanks, everyone.